Ready with the next tale of the tape, brought to you by Sousa Tequila. We have EMMANUAL Manny Medina, 2-3-1 with 2 knockouts, weighing in at 164 pounds, 5 feet 8 inches from Quincy, Mass. His opponent, Benny the Boss Constantino, 7-2 with 4 knockouts, weighing 164 pounds, standing at 5 feet 7 inches, hailing from Warwick, Rhode Island. Now to the center of the ring with ring announcer Bill Carpenter.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Jim Beam and Sousa Tequila bout, scheduled for 4 rounds of boxing in the super middleweight division. Your referee is Eddie Claudio. Introducing the red corner, he's wearing the black trunks with green, white, and red. His weight for this bout, 164 pounds. His professional record shows 2 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. Both of those wins are coming by way of knockout. From Quincy, Massachusetts, please welcome EMMANUAL Manny Medina. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, is wearing the black trunks trimmed in red. He also weighed in at exactly 164 pounds. This crowd favorite climbs into the ring with 7 professional wins, just 2 losses, fighting out of Warwick, Rhode Island. Ladies and gentlemen, Benny the Boss Constantino. Referee Eddie Claudio with final instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules. The belt lines are perfect, okay? Listen, obey my commands at all times, and protect yourself. I don't touch them up. Listen for the bell.
4 rounds of boxing, super middleweights.
Exciting 4-round battle here between 2 middleweights. EMMANUAL Manny Medina from Quincy, Mass. He'll be coming out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks and the white gloves. His opponent, Benny the Boss Constantino from very nearby Warwick, Rhode Island. Black trunks with the red stripes, coming out of the blue corner. I'm Pat Sullivan, my broadcast partner tonight, Rich Gingras. Rich, 2 fighters that you know very well here in the center of the ring.
Yeah, this is another fight I was excited to see. Manny comes out of my gym, actually, in Quincy. And Benny's a great guy. I've seen him fight quite a few times. Very good.
Benny started his professional career back in 1996, Rich, and
wow.
This tonight, his 10th professional bout. It took a while to get here, but here in his 10th professional bout with a record of 7-2 and 4 knockouts at 41 years old. Benny the Boss certainly showing that at any age you can live out your dream.
Oh yeah, definitely. They just look like they clashed heads right there. And we all know that Benny's had some problems with his eye. And hopefully that didn't cause any new problems here.
Benny started his career 7-0, then suffered 2 back-to-back losses here at Twin River, both of them by knockouts. He lost to 6-5 Dennis Ogbu and 4-2 Uleksi Leva in his last 2 bouts here. Started his career 6-0, took 10 years off, came back in late 2011 with a win over Odias Dumazel. Now here fighting EMMANUAL Medina.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, I'm not sure if he thinks Manny's an opponent, but the one thing about Manny is, yeah, he tends to act like a sparring partner, but he looks like he's being aggressive tonight, which he needs to do in order to win this fight.
Looks like traditionally a southpaw here, Rich, but it looks like he can actually switch up to go right hand.
Yeah, he tends to do that a lot. Most of the time that seems like an act of desperation, but seems to be working in his favor this time.
Medina, born in Idaho. He went out here to Quincy, Mass, the 28-year-old. Had 4 fights in 2012 after a 3-year layoff. Made his pro debut in 2009. His most recent fight, a unanimous decision loss to 3-0 Antoine Douglas. This guy who's fought 3 undefeated opponents in a row, so certainly not scared coming here to Lincoln, Rhode Island, and fight Benny the Boss, who in his 10th pro fight, all 10 fights, Rich, coming in the state of Rhode Island.
Yeah, it doesn't seem too intimidated at all, I tell you what. The one common denominator in all of his losses of him acting like a sparring partner, he looks like he's being the aggressor tonight. That might be able to pull off a W with him.
Final 25 seconds to go. Round number 1 was scheduled 4. Constantino 13 years older than the opposing Medina. It's a busy first round there for Emmanuel Medina. You spar with him, you train with him a lot. Is this what you expected him to come out like against Benny?
No, definitely not. I've never sparred with him. I see him sparring a lot. He, one thing about Manny is he never seems to take his career seriously. He usually looks like a sparring partner when he's fighting. Tonight, he looks like a new guy, I'll tell you what. He's pushing the pace. Looks like Benny's having a hard time trying to figure out him switching his stance back and forth from left to right.
It certainly is frustrating when you're facing a guy, you come in, you expect him to be a southpaw, and in the middle of all this, you're trying to size him up in the first round, and then he switches to an orthodox stance and starts throwing a jab from a different angle. Certainly frustrating for Benny to figure out, but a guy who's been in this sport since 1996, granted it took him all these years to get to his 10th pro fight, but he's still been actively involved in the sport, training and working out and coaching. So you got to think with all the vast knowledge that Constantino has, he should be able to figure out the solution on Medina going back and forth between being a lefty and a righty.
Yeah, he should, but we also got to remember that he just came off of a pretty devastating loss where he got pretty hurt. He's had some problems with his eye, and he got hurt bad in his last fight, so that could be playing a factor tonight too.
Pat Sullivan and Rich Gingras bringing you this action here from the Twin River Event Center, brought to you by Jimmy Birchfield's Classic Entertainment and Sports. Great night of boxing here, and all the local Rhode Island fans coming out here to support Warwick's own Benny the Boss Constantino. And Emmanuel Medina bringing a crowd also from Quincy, Mass. We have a little Mass Rhode Island rivalry here as you see Benny falling down on the canvas.
No, that was not caused by a punch by any means. That was a slip. He's every right to be upset about that.
And he's certainly voicing his concern there to Ref Eddie Claudio and towards the judges.
I gotta tell you, I'm very impressed with Manny today. He's being much more aggressive than he usually is, and I think that's throwing Benny through a loop. I'm sure he looked at the tapes and he was not expecting this kind of aggression from Manny. And he slipped again. Not sure what's going on here.
I wonder if he's slipping. Every time he slipped, it's been on the logos there in the center of the mat. And whether the boss agrees with it or not, there was a knockdown credited to Medina here in this round. So how aggressive should Benny be in the last minute and 10 seconds here of this round?
He needs to do something to step up, especially with that knockdown. Whether it was a slip or not, it was ruled a knockdown, and he's behind on the scorecards right here. He needs to start being the boss. Looks like Benny's
rushing the pace here, and Eddie Claudio looking on as Benny's getting caught with some right hands up against the ropes and now a left hand. But he looked a little stunned. He backed up, and Medina literally ran at him, throwing punches, and now you see the boss trying to work his way off the ropes. Eddie Claudio watching closely. 33 seconds to go here in round number 2. Medina already with a knockdown on Benny Constantino here in this round. You see Benny a little wobbly there.
He's having problems with his ankle. His legs are a little wobbly. He hasn't recovered yet.
There you see referee Eddie Claudio stepping in and calling a halt to the action. And you see Benny saying something to do with his ankle.
I'm not quite sure.
He's applying a lot of pressure there on his left leg.
I'm not quite sure it's really his ankle anymore. Benny's in his 40s now. He's had some problems with his eyes. He's having a problem with his ankle. It seems as if when things weren't going exactly his way, stuff seems to kind of fall apart for him. And don't want to see a fight go out like that.
You see. Let's take a look at the action here and see exactly where Benny Constantino started to wobble. Take a look here, maybe at his ankles.
Yeah.
And there you see, he does roll his left ankle and
definitely
falls
rolled.
to the mat. That was one of the slips. Claudio called it a slip. Tell you though, Rich, as bad as you feel for Benny Constantino and what happened to him, such a great guy, you certainly seem very impressed with Manny Medina. This is the first fight I've ever called for him. And as you said that he was more of a sparring partner mentality, I was very impressed with the way that he dominated the pace of this fight. And once he sensed that Benny may have been hurt or that his ankle was hurt, he jumped right on the opportunity and came firing right out at him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I watched his last fight. He fought on ESPN against an undefeated fighter, and he looked like he was just trying to survive from the moment the bell rang. And tonight he came out here ready to win. He took it to Benny and did what he had to do to win the fight.
And now we head down to the center of the ring to ring announcer Bill Carpenter.
Ladies and gentlemen, your official time is 2 minutes, 47 seconds of round number 2. Referee Eddie Claudio halts the contest. The fighter in the blue corner is unable to continue due to injury. Your winner by TKO is Emmanuel Manny Medina.